What's up, everyone? I'm here. We got a great guest today. We got Mr. Sam Montovani, number 3, 215 in the region right now. Last year's 195 New England runner-up and 2-time Connecticut State finalist. Sam, how we doing, bro?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Actually, let's start off with this. You said you just got out of practice not too long ago, right? How was
Yeah.
How was that? Or what does a practice look like for East Hartford? One of the top teams in New England.
Definitely hard. Our coach definitely beats down on us. We have a big duel tomorrow against Ram, and it's alumni versus another guy who grew up in East Hartford against our coach. So we kind of got beat down on today. Rough practice. We have a lot of good kids in there. Practice is always hard.
Got it. Yeah, no, I'd expect nothing less, from East Hartford. So, now going all the way back, were you always an East Hartford Stinger? Was that the first club you joined their youth program there?
Yeah, I started out there when I was probably 5 or 6 maybe, and then I think my last 2 years I went and started wrestling at KT Kids.
Gotcha.
And then by the time I was in high school, it was already closed and all that.
And I'm pretty sure that the whole crop of East Hartford kids right now, you, Jaquez, Roberts, Rivera, everyone, were you guys all starting the same time back then?
Yeah, Jaquez and Rivera kind of started later on, but me, Keeles, and Draven were all there from the start.
Yeah, that's cool. And why was it that you picked up wrestling?
So originally my dad gave me an option if I wanted to do hockey or wrestling. He gave me a bunch of options, and I didn't even choose wrestling, and he brought me to wrestling one. And I got slammed on my first day.
Nice, yeah, that's quite the introduction, man.
Yeah, it was bad.
And obviously I know you're a big baseball guy. Some people watching this might not know, but were you playing baseball at that young too?
Yeah, I started probably.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Were you a little league guy?
Yeah, definitely.
Was there a Cal Ripken League in East Hartford?
They have Cal Ripken, but everyone started playing AAU around when I got to that age.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so when you were younger and you went to your first wrestling practice, getting slammed, how did that feel? Were you screw this, I don't want to do this?
Yeah, I definitely didn't enjoy it at first, and everyone just told me to stick with it. And I even wrote my college essay about getting slammed on that first day and sticking with it. Yeah.
That's cool. And so did the sport come easy to those first couple of years, or was there a learning curve?
For the most part, it was pretty easy. I'd run a couple monsters. Henkel kind of ran through me 7. Yeah, that wasn't fun. And then I only wrestled 3 months out of the year because I would play baseball in the spring, summer, and fall. So that kind of put me at advantage, but for the most part I could always hang.
And so, during the season, your first year, were you traveling to youth states and stuff, or were you kind of taking it easy that first year?
My first year, I went to second chance states. So I was the only I just wrestled in a beginner tournament.
Nice. Do you remember how you did there? Do you remember your first ever match?
Yeah, I did lose to one of your Mad Bull boys back then.
Who?
God, I can't remember his name, but I ended up being someone that he lost to, so then I got first somehow.
Nice. That's funny. And how old were you? Were you 5 at that time?
Yeah, 5 or 6 around there.
Gotcha.
I had absolutely no clue what I was doing.
Yeah, dude, basic little kid, run at them, hope for the best,
Yeah, I remember a kid got a bloody nose and we had injury time for 15 minutes.
Damn. So, since you only wrestle a few months of the year, do you go to any out of state competitions? I'm talking more now middle school and stuff when you were more developed, or are you still in state?
when I was younger, like with KT, we'd like go out of state. We'd go to Pennsylvania every weekend, New Jersey, travel a lot. Then like after COVID and like I didn't have a freshman year of high school, I kind of like took a break from it almost. Like we had like no contact wrestling at the high school in the winter, but it was like every other day, and it just like it wasn't really anything.
Yeah. Were you, heading at the end of the summer, heading into your freshman year, were you hopeful of a season, or did you kind of know there was not going to be anything in Connecticut?
Yeah, I wasn't very hopeful at all. I didn't think we'd be wrestling for a while. And we weren't even going to wrestle my sophomore year, but then
Luckily you did.
We got.
So, what were your emotions, when you finally heard that, your freshman season just doesn't exist?
I was definitely like shocked because I just like assumed that we were gonna like maybe have to like wear like a mask or something like that. And then when I found out we'd have to do like close contact, like we couldn't even like, it was wrestling practice, but we couldn't even touch each other. It was like,
yeah,
one of the weirdest things I've ever did.
That is very weird. And was there baseball that freshman year for you?
Yeah, we had baseball.
Yeah.
So like throughout all that, like I was still able to play baseball because it's like it's nowhere near as close contact as wrestling. So like I kind of just like played baseball a lot more than I wrestled.
I hear.
Yeah.
And then heading into your sophomore year though, you guys are looking pretty good as a team.
Yeah.
And you finally had that season. So were you guys? I mean, did you guys know you were going to be, a top contender in the state your sophomore year?
Definitely. Because, like, my year, like, I think if we had a year, like, it would have been good, but a lot of our kids, like, either reclassed or they were just, like, a year younger. So, like, once, like, Draven and Isaac and Jacobs and all of them got to high school, like, I knew we were going to be a really solid team.
Yeah, you guys, it was kind of funny, I was talking to one of the coaches a few years ago. This was like your sophomore year. It's at the Double L tournament. I'm just like, how the hell did East Hartford, like, where'd they come from?
Because it was like they never really had like a good youth program, and then like there's just like a group of 5 of us who just like stuck with it from like such a young age, and then we all kind of knew like what was gonna happen, like because we'd still win those youth tournaments and stuff like that, and it's like we knew we could hang with all those kids. And then once we got to high school and we're all there at the same time, we kind of had high hopes from the beginning.
It's awesome too that you all stayed together, stayed homegrown East Hartford.
Yeah,
it's cool. And then so like we were saying, your sophomore year, it was kind of the big breakout year for East Hartford because you guys didn't get the chance the year before. You guys tied with Danbury at the Double L state tournament. So how did that feel, kind of getting... Did you guys get a trophy? Did you guys get to share one?
Yeah, but like, there was a couple matches like I felt like we got snubbed on, like, but then like the ending was like crazy for us too because we were like down by like a lot of like a pretty decent amount. It was like 16 points, and it was like simultaneously like I pinned like my guy from Trumbull, and then that kind of put them farther back on us. And then one of the kids on our team who like got previously pinned by this kid like somehow cradles this kid with like 10 seconds left. We get a pin, and then Draven pins the kid in the finals, and we ended up tying with them.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Definitely a way to solidify your team as a top dog in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And for you individually, that tournament, you placed 5th. But what'd that feel like to knowing you stayed alive and made it to Opens next week in your first, scholastic high school year of wrestling?
Yeah, I think like that weight class, like that year was like, we were like pretty much like
182, right?
Yeah, we were like kind of all in like the same like realm of like skill. Like there was no like, I think at the end of the season, like Connor kind of like solidified himself as like
Connor Smith.
Yeah, like he counted me in the championship, but like other than that, like he lost to Dom like in the finals of the Double L's.
And we all close with Ryan Gilchrist a couple times too that year.
Yeah. And he just, I don't know, we all had like close matches throughout the year, and then like I think I just had a really good tournament at the Open.
Yeah, dude, how'd that feel? You know, you were the. Do you remember what seed you were exactly? 19?
Yeah.
So fifth at double L's gets you to 19, and then you just, win, couple overtime, or I think one overtime win.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
I mean, so my first match was versus Dom from Danbury. Like that was like me and him. He beat me the weekend before, and then I wrestled like a kid that like I'd never like heard of from Farmington, and then we went to overtime. And like my semifinals match was like, I don't know, personally I think it was like my easiest match of the day. Like I wrestled a kid who like I'd never even like, because I've like wrestled my whole life, so I know most kids in the state.
Mm-hmm.
It was a kid I'd never heard of, like was a 2 seed and somehow made it to the semis.
Plus that's champ, man. Plus that's champ.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, but did you kind of expect that run from yourself, or was it a little surprising?
I mean, I was kind of surprised because like, I'd like taken a while off from wrestling, and it's like I was definitely like a lot more sloppy back then and didn't have that well of cardio, so I was kind of surprised, shocked myself. Especially the quarterfinals match, I was like losing 7-2 and like walked right into a throw.
Yeah, you came back. What was the final, like 9-7? Something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Hey, dude, whatever works,
Yeah, definitely.
And then, going 3-2 at New England's as a sophomore, did it feel good knowing, like you kind of, you didn't reach the pinnacle of the sport in the region, but, you were right there pretty close as a sophomore?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I definitely could have placed. Like, I just didn't think I had really my best tournament. I was like, I think it was either round of 16 or quarters. Like, I didn't like put up that good of a match versus one of the kids. Like, couldn't get to his legs and just wrestled kind of crappy. And then I lost in the blood round. Like, it was a 0-0 match and kind of like, I don't know, just caught me and threw me on my back.
Yeah.
Got man by a senior.
Hey, that happens as an underclassman.
Yeah, definitely.
So, after that season and after baseball, how much, what does the average summer look like for you? How much of it is it all baseball? Is there any wrestling?
All baseball.
Nice.
Like, I didn't my junior year, I didn't touch a mat until after Thanksgiving.
Wow, that's pretty kind of honestly astonishing then. The fact that you're just able to go out there and do that after taking so long of a break. Natural talent, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say like it doesn't really like affect like how I wrestle necessarily, but like it's just like cardio. Like that's always like the issue.
And you see a lot of wrestling or wrestlers that play football, not many wrestlers that play baseball. But do you think there's anything that the sports help each other with? Like, for example, for me, I know back in the day when I played baseball and did wrestling, whenever I was playing third base and I'd get, down ready position, just feel like getting in a stance almost,
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I'm not really afraid to, like, eat a ball off the face, I guess.
Yeah.
That's, like, kind of like a blast double to the face. I guess that, like, helps in wrestling. And it's just, like, good, like, wrestling keeps you in shape, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are ever times, you go in for like, right after wrestling season, you go into baseball workouts and, everyone's out of shape and you're just like, I just did a tough as hell 3 months. This is easy.
That's exactly how it feels.
I know, dude. I know exactly what you mean, man.
We'll do like the workouts right before baseball, and I'm like, oh god, this is like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. So heading into last year, your junior year, by the end of the season, you were the clear number 2 at 195, only losing to Brendan in double L's, opens, and New England's. 2 questions I have off of that, is which one of those 3 matches do you think like was the closest in your eyes?
I'd probably either say, I mean, they're all like super close, I feel like, but
they're all 2 3-point matches, 1-point match too.
I'd say like on paper, probably New England's was the closest match. Like that kind of came down to the last minute, but
you get the first takedown in that one too, I think.
No, I got the it was a double L's. Like I was winning going into third, but like yeah, I just like didn't have really the cardio to like keep up with them at that point.
Mm-hmm. And then sorry, continue.
And then like I mean, in the New England's, it was like a 1-1 match, and then you hit me with a really clean shot like within like the last 30 seconds, and and I did kind of sell on like a takedown.
But hey, you still have this year.
Yeah, I can't even like watch that match without just like.
Oh yeah, hanging your head.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I hear it. But kind of talking about your mental preparation. Especially for that New England's match, knowing that you wrestled him, the past 2 weeks already. What was your preparation like for that New England finals match?
It was mostly like throughout that week, it was just like trying to get my cardio up as much as possible and just like pushing the pace on him. Because I mean, like he's a really good defensive wrestler, but like he's also like really good on offense when he wants to be.
When he wants to be,
yeah, like he's pretty much held me down the whole time and then let me take me down. Mm-hmm. So that part was kind of rough. It was just like, I don't know, there's no other way to say that. I just kind of got manhandled.
Well, you don't got to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. So on Monday, our like coaches are supposed to have like John Clark come down. Like he'll run a practice with him. My coaches are saying they're gonna pay him to bring down.
Bring Brendan. That'd be funny.
They beat me for the 4th time.
Yeah, dude. So moving on to this season now. Also kind of because you're kind of one of those guys I feel where you're 195 and 220. Saw changes from last season. So what are your thoughts on 190 and 215? Do you like those new weight classes, or do you prefer last year's?
I probably would have preferred last year's because I could have made 197, but it's just like
the next question was.
Yeah,
are you a light 215?
Yeah, like for the like I could be, but like I try and stay up a little bit, but like in the beginning of the season I was like around like 230, 232, and like I got down to like 212 in like 2 weeks.
Gotcha. But you could be 195 again if that was an option.
Yeah, definitely.
190 is too much though?
Yeah, I just didn't want to push. It was like 40 pounds.
I hear it. So how has just the season been going for East Hartford in general? You guys haven't lost anyone, from last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys looking for another strong year?
Yeah, definitely. We our first tournament, we've won every tournament so far, and we're undefeated like as a dual team. But like the first one was a big match. We took down Trumbull, who was last year's rival in the double L's. And then we did beat Ram at that tournament before, and then we took down New Milford too, who was ranked above us in the beginning of the season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, last year, you guys in double L's, you guys qualified 5 to opens, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then you sent 3 to New England's. Basically, injuries screwed you guys over last year. So,
yeah, we ended up sending 3 to the Open.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because Rivera and Keelas got hurt at double L's, right?
Yeah, well,
I heard Keelas like broke his hand at practice before opens, right?
No, he broke his hand before the double L. He won the double L's.
Okay. Gotcha. So, returning all those 5 guys, are you hoping, you and your 4 teammates are all going to head to New England's this year?
Definitely.
Nice.
I think that like really helps us like in dual matches too, because we match up really well against other teams. So it's like those 5 guys, it's like 6 points for each of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another, teammate of yours I want to talk about real quick. I see at 113 or 106, whatever. See Montovani. Is that a little brother?
That's my little brother. Yeah.
Gotcha. How long has he been wrestling for?
Just about the same amount of time as me. Like he started like he was probably like 3 when I was like 6. So, I mean, he was younger, but.
So in a few years, I'll be keeping track of him when you're gone.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Expect a pretty double L placement from him, though.
You said you're expecting a double L placement from him?
Definitely.
Hey, yeah, dude, you got to hold him to high standards, you know.
Yeah.
So, what's your like biggest individual goal? Is it that New England title?
I'd say it's probably like winning the team title at the double L's, and then like also winning New England's.
Nice.
One at a time, though.
Yeah.
And I gotta avenge myself at the Open too.
Yeah, dude, you're right there. You know, 2-time finalist.
I know.
3 times a charm.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, you know, kind of moving on to what you'd want to do in the future. Would you consider being a dual sport athlete in college? You know, because you definitely have the talent in wrestling, and you know, I know you play on a travel team for baseball, so you're pretty good, I guess. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of coaches have reached out about it, but I don't know. We'll just have to see.
What would be your ideal school for wrestling or baseball?
Definitely be probably somewhere around here. I don't want to go too far.
In the New England area?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Probably Connecticut, Rhode Island, or Mass.
Yeah, not too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is it that you like look for in a coach, whether it's wrestling or baseball? You know, just look for in a program in general to help you at the next level.
Honestly, I think it's like a mean coach, pretty much. Like, I've never really had like a nice coach, and I feel like that's like always worked.
I hear it. Tough love, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Sam, is there anything else you want to talk about or touch on?
No, not really. I just hoping for the best this season. 2 weeks, I'll have a really good match. I'll keep you posted on that one.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. We'll be at the Xavier tournament, so.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make my way there too.
Yeah.
So, let's see that. You talking about you and Weidman probably?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully I'll be there in person for that.
Yeah, I think Trumbull will also be there too.
Yeah, Munden again.
Yeah, Simsbury too.
Oof. That's gonna be a great day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good tournament.